What is good? It's been a little while since I popped on here and just chit-chatted and gave you some updates, so I figured this would be a good time. I'm just gonna give you a few updates and really just keep it real with you. I feel like a lot of times in this social media game, in this content creation game, it's a lot of superficiality. It's a lot of showing the highlights but not getting into the real nitty-gritty on like what real life is all about. And so before I hop into that, I want to give you a quick update on Hyrox. So if you saw my last video, it was my Hyrox recap. I raced Houston Hyrox, obviously here in Houston. I did the open division. I got a time of 1 hour, 8 minutes, and I think 37 seconds. And so this was my second solo Hyrox race. If you've been following along at all, I did my first one back in February in Vegas, and I did the pro division where I got 1 hour and 19 minutes and some change. And so I would say, yes, I'm progressing a little bit, but obviously the weight is lighter in the open division, which is the one I did in Houston. And so I was expecting myself to be faster nonetheless. But, you know, the race to me felt fantastic. I felt like I gave like 100%. I felt like I ran a perfect race, a great race, no mental mistakes. I couldn't have asked for a better race, although I wish my time was better. I'm just be frank and blunt with you guys, like I'm just not fast enough. To give you perspective, overall out of men in the open division in Houston, I was 55th out of 1,010 to be exact, 12th in my age group. And my friends, two of my friends finished top 3 overall in the men's open division in Houston. Tyler and Malik, shout out to both of them. Congratulations to you guys. You know, as a competitor that I am, I was looking at their times and comparing it to my times and their runs and their stations and seeing where they are, you know, beating me at. And it single-handedly came down to the runs. Yes, they're faster than me in most stations, but not a ton, but they're smoking me in the running portion, and I'm just not fast enough. That's just how it is, you know, and I take responsibility and I call it like I see it. And so to give perspective, I'm running on average probably a 4:10, 4 minute and 10 second, 1 kilometer. They're running 3:40s or faster. They're a solid, you know, 30, 40 seconds faster than I am in the kilometers. And so not only that, they're running at a way less heart rate, if that makes sense, than I am. So like my 4:10 is like at 170 beats per minute. Their 3:40 is probably at like a 155, 160. Like they're just absolutely crushing it. And so when I take a step back and look at the bigger picture, it's like if I really want to compete with these top level folks, like I just have to get faster. You know, that leads me into the next couple things that I want to chat about with you guys. And I'm gonna try to keep this as short as possible, but I wanted to give you like the full picture. I feel like, you know, on Instagram and things like this, you get like kind of the highlights. Like YouTube, why I like this so much is because I can sit here and give you the full picture of what life is really like. And I think the realness people can relate to rather than just looking like it's all perfect. And so, you know, there's a couple things that I'm struggling with. First and foremost, I have a knee injury, or a lingering one, or a chronic one, or whatever you want to call it. Back in high school, I tore my patellar tendon. And so it was during football, it was my junior year. It was a non-contact injury. I just went down the wrong way. My tibia came up, it sliced my patellar tendon in half and shattered the growth plate and broke my tibia and my knee. And so it was a pretty nasty injury at the time. And it put me out for about 8 months. I had a full-legged cast. I had to learn how to rebend my knee with a radial arm brace, all that good stuff. I have a big old scar, but I say all that to say is that it still gives me problems till this day. Like, it gives me a lot of problems. And so it's to the point where I can, on the leg extension machine, I can't really do leg extensions. I have a hard time doing walking lunges. I have a hard time doing front squats, really anything. There's a certain point in the bend in my knee that it's just like this most excruciating pain in my knee. You know, I got an MRI probably 5 years ago. Nothing came up. That was like red flag. It's just a lot of scar tissue. And just to be honest with you guys, I probably didn't rehab it right in high school because I was just trying to rush to get back on the field in football and baseball because I was trying to get scholarships to go play in college. And so I didn't want to take more time out. And so I have a bunch of scar tissue built up in there. And so it's really just giving me a lot of problems till this day. And I'm never really taking the time to rehab it because it's never really given me a problem between then and now because I've never really been competing on a higher level. I've just been playing like whatever, backyard, this and that. and running marathons. And running marathons didn't really hurt it too bad because it's more of a hamstring movement than a quad movement. And so I say all that to say that if I really want to compete at the highest level with Hyrox or even marathon running or anything, if I start to do triathlons one day, this knee has to get better. If not, I will just be mediocre, and that might just be how it has to be, but I'm competitive and I want to perform at a higher level. And so with that being said, one thing I've never done is taken appropriate season to rehab my knee to where it needs to be. If I had to be honest with you guys, this leg's about 90 to 100%. This leg is probably 25 to 30% at most. And so when I'm doing sled push, or when I'm doing walking lunges, or when I'm doing, wall balls, or anything that involves, squatting movement, this leg is taking 80% of the pressure. This leg is taking 20% of the pressure. And so this leg is blowing up way before it should, if it was like 50-50, right? And so it's come to a point where, okay, I've been able to mask it for so long, but I'm never going to make it to that higher level if I don't address this problem. So I think after this race and having some time to sit down and digest everything, it's like, as bad as I want to just get back out there and start training hardcore again, I think it's just time for me to like look in the mirror and say, hey, you need to chill out. You need to rehab your knee correctly. Maybe go get it scoped and cleaned out all the scar tissue and go to a PT and do all the right things that I know is just going to be an arduous process that's going to take time that I'm not patient enough to do, but I need to do. And so I think this is a season for that. Who knows, maybe in a week or two, I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm tired of doing this. I'm just going to go back out and just push it as hard as I can. But I really do feel like it's limiting me. And this is not an excuse. People deal with injuries all the time. I just know that if I want to go to the next level, I have to address this injury. And so that's struggle number one. That mentally is a little bit hard for me because I'm just anxious. Like, I just want to get out there and just compete and go push my body and my mind as hard as possible. And Hyrox allows me to do that. But I also have to think, like, if you want to get faster than 108, like, you're going to have to be able to be strong in this leg, just truthfully. And so that leads me to point number two. What I realized is that I'm just not aerobically conditioned enough like these boys. Like, these guys are, I saw my boy Malik do a run the other day. He ran like 10 miles at a 7-minute pace and his heart rate was like a 116, and I'm like, brother, that's, your aerobic capacity is just crushing mine. Like, my zone 2 is an 8-minute pace, and that's on flat surface with cool weather, and so I just know, like, I just see the discrepancy in this and know that, hey, I just need to get better aerobically, and the only way to do that is run in your zone 2, really, and strength train properly. And so understanding that I need to rehab my knee also gives me the ability to correctly train aerobically to condition my aerobic threshold, so I can start running faster at a lower heart rate to really compete with some of these big guys. And this is in Hyrox or marathon, or even, like I said, maybe a triathlon one day. And so that's number two. And on top of that, to make sure that I'm as accurate as possible, I went ahead and bit the bullet. One of my friends convinced me. I already wear a Garmin watch, but they convinced me to get the heart rate monitor. So I just ordered this. I'm actually going to try this today, later in the video, see how it works. Hopefully it's charged. I haven't even opened it yet. But I'm going to do a lot more appropriate heart rate training to see if, I'm really training in that zone 2, so I can really work on that aerobic threshold. As some of you guys know, as I mentioned in my video before, is I ran a marathon every month last year. And while I feel like I got faster aerobically, I didn't progress like I thought I should. And that's obviously because running a marathon every month is like, it's not how you get better at running. So I'm excited, this new season to really focus on getting better aerobically. And so I went ahead and bought the heart rate monitor just so I can make sure that I'm truly in zone 2. And so that's a new toy for me. I'm excited. I'm gonna pop this out and try it out later for you guys. And then last thing, just to keep it real with you guys, is like, I'm low key struggling. And this is a struggle in a good way. This is all, I say this next part all out of gratitude. I'm extremely, I thank the good Lord above every day for this life that I'm given. And I could not be more grateful for it. But one of the things that I'm struggling with is really like time management. if I'm just being honest with you guys. You know, I feel like my life has 5 or 6 buckets. Number one is like my relationship with God. That's where I devote my time, and I should be devoting the most of my time to, and I don't always do that, but that's the goal. And then into my relationships, my personal relationships. I'm also in a season of life where I'm starting to open that door of finding a wife. I'm 30 years old. I'm dating with intention now. I'm not a kid anymore, just, you know, out here on the apps and all that stuff. I'm not doing any of that. I'm out dating with intention, or want to be dating with intention. And so, you know, my friends' relationships and my future relationship, like that's going to involve my time and capacity. Work, you know, is the best it's ever been for me. And I'm super thankful for that. And it's funny, it's like you can't pray for abundance, then be upset when your plate is full. And so I'm truly grateful for this. And all this that I'm saying is out of gratitude. It's just me being real with you guys. It's like I have a lot of new clients, a lot of existing clients on my plate, and they take priority in making sure I'm serving them to the best of my ability. And then it comes down to training myself. Like, to compete where I want to compete, I need to be putting in 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a week of training. That involves a lot. Content. I love doing content, especially long form content, but it takes time and energy to set up a camera, sit here and talk to you guys, film 3 different angles on different things that I'm doing. It just takes time and effort, right? And so, you know, that's another bucket I'm trying to get filled. And then my rest and recovery. Like, rest and recovery should probably be number 2 behind God. It's like, how can I pour into other people if my cup isn't full? And so, you know, these are that 5, 6 buckets that I'm trying to manage and give 100% in each one. And it's like really catching up to me. And I was talking to, you know, my head trainer, the owner of the gym that I work at. His name's Ronnie. He's an amazing dude. And, you know, he runs a great business. He's a great father. He's a great husband. You know, he's a great athlete. He's doing all these things great. And I'm like, brother, like, how do you manage all this? And he's like, to be honest with you, man, like, something's got to give. And for him, what's giving is, he told me it's him training himself. He's like, hey man, I'm not going to go compete on the highest level in Hyrox. I'm going to help other people compete on the highest level of Hyrox. He's like, but if I give too much time here in training myself, then something else in my life is going to give. And so I think I have to sit here and look at myself and say, while I want to do all 6 of those things to the absolute best of my ability, I think I do have to start prioritizing some over the other. And maybe I do, maybe I don't. If you have any suggestions for those who are excellent at time management of how I can give 100% to each category, I'm open to feedback. You know, this is my first time doing life, and I don't have it all figured out. As much as other people want to make you seem that they have it all figured out, I don't, and I'm okay to admit that. But I'm working on figuring it out, and as I figure out along the way, I'm happy to share anything that I've learned to other people so they don't have to go through the same learning curve that I did to figure it all out. And so I say all that to say, you know, I'm operating in a mindset of gratitude. I love the life that I live. Sometimes as a man, you have to be real with yourself. And, you know, I just wanted to give you guys some updates on where I'm at in life. And, you know, just to kind of recap, it's like, it's April now. You know, I'm going to focus on getting this knee healthy, focus on continuing to train, just a little bit of a different priority in mind, and then working on, you know, my time management and prioritizing what's really important in life. And that would be my God, my friends, my family, and my clients, and hopefully have enough left over to reach the goals that I want to reach as well. And so with that being said, it's time to continue this day. I just trained all morning, or coached all morning, my clients. And then I'm going to test out this new heart rate monitor. I'm going to do an hour of zone 2 cardio. I'm going to do 30 minutes on the row, 30 minutes on the treadmill. Then I'm going to go get lunch. Then I have another client at 4:15-ish. And then last but not least, I'm going to Bible study tonight at 6:15, you know, so then go to sleep and do it all over again. To kind of give you perspective for one last thing before I go, it's like what my day looks like. For example, today is Monday. I wake up at 4:04 in the morning. I'm weird. I like to wake up at the time that's the same forwards as backwards. So I wake up at 4:04 in the morning. I'm at the gym by 5:15, getting everything set up for my first client at 5:30. And then we have semi-private classes here at the gym. So I train my one-on-one client 5:30 to 6:30, and then I have class at 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10. Then I have another one-on-one, 10 to 11. Then I have another class, 11 to 12. And then I have one more one-on-one 12 to 1. And then I made this video. Then I'm gonna train myself, go get lunch, come back, train my 4:15, finish that, go straight to Bible study. And then tonight is the national championship game for college basketball. So after Bible study, I'm gonna watch that, and then I'll be home probably at 10:30, lights out, wake up at 4 and do it all over again. So that's what my day looks like. I'm super grateful. I have an amazing people in my life. I have an amazing job. I get to serve other people. I get to help other people. I'm grateful. Just trying to figure it all out. That's all. But without further ado, I've done talked enough. Let's go get this workout in. All right, let's pop this thing open. Yeah. All right. Hope this thing is charged. I don't like to read directions, so we're just gonna figure this out real quick. You know what? Maybe let me read these directions real quick. Make sure I'm doing this the right way so I can get the proper reading. All right, so apparently I have to put it on before I pair it. So let's see here, let's get this thing going. You know, my friend convinced me to get this thing. He runs a 2:45 marathon, so he said it helped him, so I got it. I think it was like $100. Actually had it for a little while, I just haven't opened it yet. I'm trying to get this thing, make sure it fits. How tight is this supposed to be? I like that. All right, let's put this thing on. All right, folks, I think we got it all situated. We're gonna give it a run. I'm gonna hop on this rower for about 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna do a 30-minute run and then go get some lunch. So let's get after it. Okay, so let's see how this works. I'm gonna go to my watch. I'm gonna go to row and door. I'm assuming it's already connected. So I'll hit start and we'll get ready to go. So like I said, I'm gonna do an hour of zone 2 today. It's gonna be 30 minutes on the row, and then I'm gonna do 30 minutes on the treadmill. A question I get asked a lot is, how do you find your zone 2? The most accurate way would be to go to get a VO2 max test and they'll give you your zones. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to do that sooner than later, but there's 3 other tests that you can do. Number 1 is the conversational test. Are you able to have a conversation while doing the activity, running, rowing, biking, whatever the case may be? If you can have the conversation without feeling like you're, you know, in between words, that's a good test of zone 2. The second test is like the breath test, which would be, can you breathe strictly in and out of your nose? If you feel like you can't and have to open your mouth to gasp for air, you're probably going too fast. And then the third test, which is the one that I typically use in conjunction with the first 2, basically like the math test. I think there's another name for it, but it's 180 minus your age would be your zone 2 technically. However, the little caveat that I like to throw on it is, if you are in shape, meaning you've been doing weightlifting, running for 2 years plus, I like to add 5 onto that number that you get. If you're like brand new to the gym, I like to subtract 5 from that number. And if you're in between, obviously, then the 180 minus your age. So my zone 2, I'm 29, so 180 minus 29 is, what's that, 150, 149? Is that right? So 151, excuse my math. So my zone 2 is 180 minus 29, which is 151. So therefore, I would add 5 to that, so it'd be like 156, because I've been doing cardiovascular activities for 2 years plus. So I'm trying to keep my zone 2 between 146 and 156. That's my zone, not to go over 156 whatsoever. So 146 to 156. So let's get this show on the road. Here we go. We are off to the races. So. All right, so we just did 38 minutes, about 9,000 meters. Again, I was trying to keep it in zone 2. I don't know if this heart rate monitor works. I probably didn't set it up right. My heart rate would be at like 120 and then jump to like 150. And so it didn't really stay very consistent, which I thought the heart rate monitor would be way more consistent than just when I had the watch, but I'm gonna call this one user error. So I'm gonna go run. Running is a little bit more constant than rowing, so see if that changes anything, and if not, I'll probably have to dig deeper into the directions and make sure that I set it up right. But nonetheless, 38 minutes on the row. I'm gonna go get about 30 minutes on the treadmill, and of course we are powered by Rufus du Sol. Always the vibes. Here we go. All right, folks, there we have it. That's 30 minutes, 3.6 miles. It's about an 8:20 pace. Average heart rate was around 140. I don't know, I need to keep playing with this heart rate monitor, see if it makes sense, but I'm gonna keep trying it and get better. But that's an hour and 10 minutes of zone 2-ish cardio. So there's about to be a class in the gym. So I'm gonna go get some food and get ready for my one-on-one. So I'm pulling up to this place called Aladdin. It's like a Mediterranean place. It's fairly healthy. About to grab a quick lunch and then finish out the day. Hey, Ross, how's it going, man? Good. Let me do the spicy chicken kebab, please. No drinks, no, I'm good. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. All right, so I got spicy chicken kebab, saffron rice. I got a baked mashed potato, which I've never had, and lemon garlic potatoes. If you can't tell, I love carbs, and I'm not afraid to eat them. So I'm gonna dig in on this. So let's enjoy.
Let's go.
All right, we'll go quad stretch on the way down, high kicks on the way back, all right? Quad stretch on the way down, high kicks on the way back. Get nice and loose before we tear them legs up, boy. All right, baby, last thing, we're gonna go, let's get wild. We'll go 10 deep squats, 10 jump squats. We'll go 5 hip circles forward, 5 hip circles backwards, okay? Each leg. We'll go 2 rounds, okay? So sumo, get the feet wide. Yeah, yep. Yep, and then 5, yep. 5 forward, 5 backwards each leg. 2 rounds, okay? And then we get into it. Okay? Loose?
Yeah.
All right.
Just like how it feels like that first.
Yeah.
That first pump feels crazy.
Yeah. All right, baby, we're gonna go front squat today. Racked up here. Keeping that core tight, all right? I need you to go 90, okay? But you get good depth, but make sure we're 90 degrees at least, all right?
I thought you said 90 reps.
No. We'll start with 10 reps, and then we're gonna go to the turf. We got plate pushes, okay? To the end and back to here, okay? We're just here. We're pushing all the way down and all the way back, okay? That's 1. Yep. Just those 2 things, all right? Let's get this party started. Good, chest up, good. There it is, good. Good. Let's do this 25 on top. This will be our working set, so the goal is 10, but I want good form, so I'm happy with 8 if that's all you got. Keep that core tight, breathe. Breathe, good. Good. There you go. Come on. We're gonna be pushing down and coming back. Yeah, wherever you want to set that up. My boy's got to get 10 for his Instagram too, so it works out. We're both shooting. All right, so plate push. Again, just a reminder, you gonna feel it in your quads. Almost like a bear crawl, but we're pushing the plate, okay? There you go, good, good. Drop that butt just a little bit. Good. Next thing we got overhead plate walking lunge, okay? So we're here, keeping those arms extended. We're gonna go 15 yards, down and back. Same with the sled push. Those two things, back to back. Sled push, I don't care which one you do first, but sled push, 15 yards down and back. Arms locked out, keeping that core tight, okay? Walking lunge, down and back. Keep the arms locked out, keep the arms locked out, good. There you go, good. There you go, good. Get through there, get your weight over top of as far over top of here as you can. Yep, good. Good, there you go, drive. All right, my brother. The good old Nordic curls. The old fashioned way. Oh. I'm gonna sit on it though so you don't come down. Use your hamstrings to pull you back up though, okay? Just use the arms as little as possible. Yep, yep. There it is, good, perfect. Perfect, 6. Next we have bandit broad jumps. Jump as far out as you can. Yep, 6. Good. All right, try to give me 12 to 15, but most important thing is I want those hands reached back. Get the good stretch, pulling through the core, okay? And scoot up a little bit so you don't put so much pressure on your lower back. Yeah, I can adjust this, hold on. Yep, good, yeah, good. Perfect, get in there deep. Get in there deep. Try to go to almost failure, basically. You'll know when. Try to go up as high as you can, get that heel up. Yeah, get in there deep. Good. Yeah, perfect. Good work, baby, good work. Woo! All right, there you have it. Just finished up a session with my client, Josue. He found me through one of my friends. He just started with me about a week ago, but he's been great. He's actually an ex-professional soccer player, so I think it's been probably 3 or 4 years since he's played professionally. And he said he just kind of fell off, and so he's looking to get back into fitness. He likes the functional movements that I incorporate in my training. And then he said he might want to do Hyrox come November. So we're just getting started, getting the base building, knocking some of the rust off. And you know, what's fun about working with him is that he has such good muscle memory from when he played professionally at all the workouts that they did, that the base is there. It's just, I tell him, it's like, we got to knock the rust off a little bit, and you're going to be good to go. So it's just fun working with him because he understands the movements, the form, all that good stuff. He's just been out of the game for a little bit, so that's my job to get him back in it. And you know, luckily he was nice enough to let me film. I don't like to film my sessions when I'm coaching clients because I'm very hands-on. I like to be in there, and if I have to think about setting up the camera, am I in the shot, you know, this, that, and the other, it's just like it takes away from the client experience. But he's a professional videographer now, ironically, and so he's shooting content for his social media and stuff too. So I was like, all right, let me get a couple clips just so I can show you guys what a session looks like. But I typically don't do that very often because I think it's just not fair to the client, especially if they're not like into content. Then I don't want to take away from their experience. But he's super cool, and I'm grateful that he let me to do it. Now I am headed off to Bible study. Probably going to be a few minutes late, which I hate, but try to beat this traffic and see if I can get there on time.
affected by sin, your desires, your wants, your longings. The ministry is trying to prepare his followers, watch, for his transition out of the world. He's trying to teach them that the end is coming. In Matthew chapter 16, he prophesies to them about the birth of the Christian church that was just a few months away. In Matthew chapter 28:19, he gives that church its only commission: spread the gospel, multiply disciples. But in Matthew 18, he gives the church its very first teaching on the context of how we govern ourselves inside biblical community. He says, whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. He tells us, his followers, if any one of you, watch, will be the cause of leading another brother or sister in sin, it will be better that you just tie a stone around your neck and be drowned in the sea. That is, you better not be the cause for other believers and sisters being caught up in sin. Let something else get them caught up. You better not be the origin of them getting caught up.
Protein, I got a coffee. Let me get a little protein. Oh no, give him that green juice then. Oh yeah, you want that? That green juice is horrible. You might want this. Hey, Kevin's dog's odd. I don't have one. He's super small. He's big.
These guys are doing a good job. So yeah, Jude's holds.
I knew it.